Joseph Voigt, A Son's Betrayal, The Price of Escapism. Imagine the chilling silence after the shots ring out. A silence broken only by a mother's desperate plea for help. This is the reality of the Joseph Voigt case, a tragedy that forces us to confront uncomfortable truths about family, violence, and the allure of digital escape. Give a like and subscribe, leave a comment. Joseph Voigt, a 24-year-old man, stood accused of an unspeakable act. He pleaded guilty to second-degree murder and attempted first-degree murder. These charges stemmed from the horrific events of December 7, 2024. That night, a family was torn apart by violence. His father, Marvin Voigt, 63, lost his life. His mother, Susan Voigt, was left fighting for hers, seriously injured by her own son. The seeds of this tragedy were sown in a seemingly ordinary conflict. The shooting was triggered by an argument with his parents. This argument centered on Voigt's excessive video game playing. His parents, like many, worried about their son's future. They pressured him to seek employment, to step away from the screen and into the world. This pressure, however well-intentioned, ignited a deadly spark. The nightmare unfolded around 11:20 p.m. local time. Susan Voigt, despite her injuries, found the strength to call 911. Her voice, filled with pain and terror, alerted authorities to the horror unfolding in their home. Officers arrived to a scene of unimaginable grief. Marvin Voigt was found dead in the driveway, riddled with multiple gunshot wounds. Susan Voigt was rushed to a hospital, clinging to life in critical condition. As the sirens wailed, Joseph Voigt fled the scene, leaving behind a trail of devastation. A BOLO, be on the lookout alert, was immediately issued for his vehicle. Law enforcement mobilized to bring him to justice. Orlando police officers located the vehicle around 2 a.m. on International Drive. Voigt was taken into custody during a traffic stop, thankfully without further incident. The manhunt was over, but the questions remained. In the cold light of interrogation, Voigt confessed to shooting his parents. He cited his father's pressure to quit video games and find a job as the trigger. These words, spoken in the sterile environment of a police station, revealed a chilling disconnect from reality. The confession was made to the Polk County Sheriff's Department. It painted a picture of a young man overwhelmed, unable to cope with the expectations of adulthood. But does this excuse the inexcusable? The Voigt case is not an isolated incident. Voigt had a prior criminal record, including arrests for discharging a weapon and assault. This history reveals a disturbing pattern of escalating violence. He had been released from prison just a week before the attack. His release was after serving a sentence for assault. This raises serious questions about the effectiveness of our rehabilitation system. Authorities noted a pattern of violent behavior escalating to the fatal outcome. This pattern, ignored or inadequately addressed, ultimately led to tragedy. We must ask ourselves, could this have been prevented? On April 7th, Voigt pleaded guilty to both charges as part of a plea agreement. The initial first-degree murder charge was reduced as part of the agreement. The prosecution decided not to pursue an additional charge of shooting into a building. This plea agreement, while bringing a measure of closure, also raises complex ethical questions. Was justice truly served? Did the system adequately consider the severity of the crime and the impact on the victims? Voigt is currently held in the Orange County Jail. He is awaiting transfer to Polk County for court proceedings. He awaits his fate, a fate he largely determined himself. His future is now defined by the consequences of his actions. But what about the future of the community he has shattered? What about the future of families struggling with similar issues? The Voigt case has generated significant public attention and commotion. This is due to the violent nature of the crime and the circumstances surrounding it. It has shaken our community to its core. Polk County Sheriff Grady Judd emphasized the importance of interagency collaboration. Bartow Police Chief Stephen Walker expressed dismay and gratitude for the swift capture. Their words highlight the dedication of law enforcement, but also the profound sadness that permeates this case. This tragedy serves as a stark reminder of the challenges we face as a community. We must address the root causes of violence, support families in crisis, and provide resources for those struggling with mental health issues and addiction. The Joseph Voigt case is more than just a crime story. It's a reflection of our society, our values, and our failures. It's a call to action, a demand for change. We cannot afford to ignore the warning signs. We cannot afford to let another family suffer this unimaginable pain. This case forces us to confront the uncomfortable reality of violence within our own community. It compels us to examine the pressures and anxieties that can drive individuals to desperate acts. It challenges us to create a safer, more supportive environment for all. The allure of escapism, whether through video games or other means, can be a dangerous trap. When individuals become isolated and disconnected from reality, the consequences can be devastating. We must foster healthy connections, encourage open communication, and provide access to mental health resources. The Voigt case is a tragedy that will forever be etched in our community's memory, but it is also an opportunity for growth, for healing, and for positive change. Let us honor the memory of Marvin Voigt and support Susan Voigt in her recovery by working together to prevent future tragedies. Let us learn from this case and commit ourselves to building a community where violence is not tolerated, where families are supported, and where individuals have the resources they need to thrive. The time for action is now. We must address the underlying issues that contribute to violence, such as poverty, inequality, and lack of access to mental health care. We must invest in programs that promote healthy relationships, conflict resolution, and responsible parenting. We must create a culture of empathy, compassion, and understanding. The Joseph Voigt case is a wake-up call. It is a reminder that we all have a role to play in preventing violence and building a safer community. Let us rise to the challenge and create a future where tragedies like this are no longer possible. The silence after the shots should not be the end of the story. It should be the beginning of a conversation, a commitment, a change. Let us honor the victims by working together to create a better future for all. Call to action. This tragedy demands action. I urge you to educate yourself. Research local resources for mental health support and violence prevention. Share this information with your friends and family. Support local organizations. Donate your time or money to organizations working to address the root causes of violence in our community. Start a conversation. Talk to your family, friends, and neighbors about the importance of mental health, healthy relationships, and responsible parenting. Advocate for change. Contact your elected officials and urge them to invest in programs that promote violence prevention and mental health support. Seek help. If you or someone you know is struggling with mental health issues or experiencing violence, reach out for help. There are resources available, and you are not alone. Let us transform this tragedy into a catalyst for positive change. Together, we can build a safer, more supportive, and more compassionate community for all.